the reality is a lot of people don't have time to cook. A lot of people don't have time to deal with going to grocery stores. And then like we do, and the majority of the stuff in a grocery store is already basically pre-cooked. You just like add water and reheat and do stuff like that. And I think what you're doing is showing that everybody can have access to this delicious food.
This all kind of started kind of strange. We can kind of get back into it. I'm 40 years old. So 38 years old, just kind of filming some stuff for a butcher shop to get it on their Facebook. Well, in the middle of all this, I started making some videos and just kind of put my personality into it. And it kind of went, in a direction. I'm like, oh my God, what is this? But instead of like taking like a direction of like this is really cool, people love me, I was like, man, people are really learning and this is really cool. Like, I didn't think that honestly someone really wanted to know how to cut up a pork loin, man. Like, I just figured like probably somebody else that's a carpenter's, like someone probably doesn't want to hear about putting some drywall in, it's like, but after kind of seeing it and I'm like, wow, man, like everybody eats food, right? And so everyone has to get it somehow and wait. And so I kind of like went backwards and I'm like, I've been this meat cutter butcher for 20 years and I've been taking people's money, right? And like learning how to merchandise this thing to get more. So I'm like, let me flip this thing back around because at this point, let me help everybody else. And so
you're reverse engineering the whole game.
Yeah, I had no idea that like I've been preparing myself for the last 20 years, dude, to like, all right, wait, I don't like the way all this is going, I don't like the way this food's being thrown away. I don't like how this is doing this in these big places. And so for me, I have some sort of a platform now where I get respected for the stuff that I've done because of like meat cutting and stuff. And so I just want to give that knowledge back in any way, shape, or form, because otherwise, what's it good for if I'm just holding on to it,
Yeah, well, dude, I mean, and there's so much more than that too, because like there are certain things that, and I've liked to cook for a long time, and I like to go search things out and find stuff, and I go down rabbit holes and I get very like narrow-minded on things, and like I can get like OCD on a specific recipe until it's perfect. That said, there have definitely been things that I would say is a gimme that I will never make, because that is just a supermarket or a mass-produced food that is beyond my reach or my ability, or I would have to buy so much machinery. And here you go showing us how to do lunch meat at home.
I know it's the simple things to me that I would just say, oh, this is how you do it. Like, for instance, like just not even this instrument, right? Let's just talk about a piece of beef.
Yeah.
So we talk about it. I talk about it on my page all the time. Like roast beef at a deli is, 15 to 20 upward. Depends on where you go, man. It could be $30 a pound.
Yeah, it's insane.
All it is essentially round. So most of the time it's top round, right? And so you get a big old chunk of top round and it costs them, I don't know, $4 a pound, I would say, right? And then the butcher can trim it up, take all that trim, right? And then use that for hamburger. Then they make the $6 or $7 a pound over here, right? So they're still making a little bit on that trim. And then after that, they have this beautiful piece of meat that's right from the center. Put some salt, pepper, garlic on top, put it in the oven, and then cook it until it's the perfect temperature, 115, 120 for roast beef. And then they put it in the refrigerator. And then there's 30 of them sitting there, and they're wrapped in saran wrap. And then you go there, and then you spend $22 a pound. They just spent $4, and you can do the same thing because they just use the oven. And so I'm just trying to rip that into people's brains. Like, I know it sucks, man. You don't really want to go to the store. You don't want to do this. You don't want to do this. But like take one night out of the week and just make a roast beef, and then just make a big one and then use it for lunch meat, use it for sandwiches, use it for tacos, use it for whatever else you want through the week, or just snack on it. And like, then you're not spending all this money. You're not getting all the nitrates, all this extra stuff that's in it. You get to season it how you want. And it, again, I get so passionate about it because it's like, dude, this is not that hard. Every human, come on, guys. Like, it's not that hard. We can do it.